Good Wednesday morning of the 16th week. This is a gospel. I like to share it because it's I'll read it to you. It's from Matthew, okay? And I'll share it to you. It's been this topic, I have an own analogous experience with this topic. I'll show it to you. On that day, Jesus went out of the house and sat down by the sea. Such large crowds gathered round him that he got into a boat, and he sat down, and the whole crowd stood along the shore. And he spoke to them at length in parables, saying, a sower went out to sow. And as he sowed, some seed fell on the path, and birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky ground where it had little soil, and sprang up at once because the soil wasn't deep. And when the sun rose, it was scorched, and it withered for lack of roots. Some seed fell among the thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it. But some seed fell on rich soil and produced fruit, 100 or 60 or 30-fold. Whoever has ears ought to hear. What I think is going on now in Matthew's gospel was the early scandal of the church, the defection of Christians. The Christians who came in and for whatever reasons departed. They left the faith. Okay, they left the faith, and he'll later say what they were, but he's giving an analogy with a farmer throwing out seed, and the birds come. Some fell on rocky ground, couldn't penetrate. Some of it was snatched away. So, the seed fell on a path, and birds came up and ate it up. It's snatched away from them. Outside forces. Some fell on rocky ground, had little soil, had no depth to it. It sprang up, but it died, had no roots. Some around thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it. But some fell on rich soil and produced fruit, manyfold. It was, to me, I have to say, two things. One was in the order when guys would leave the outfit in student life, before ordination. And it always wondered why. Because we all felt called. That's why we were there. But why in the calling did some feel it was no longer their calling? Or what was it that drew them away? And what was it that kept some of us, persevering, staying? What was the difference? And I have to say now, in terms of the church, the enormous defection from the faith that's occurring. We see so many of the baptized either drift away or to reject it. So many of my friends growing up have not only left the faith, they've rejected it. Why? Why? What was there about? What is there, or what was there about the gospel or the church that made it adverse to them? I know I said to one of my friends, what did we do to drive you away? And I meant it. What did we do to drive you away? See, I don't condemn those who depart from us. I blame us, me, especially the clergy. I blame myself. I blame us who are the shepherds. How did the wolves get into the fold? How did this happen? Or how did we scatter the sheep ourselves? See? We have to answer for the flock. The clergy have to answer for the flock. Not that we're responsible entirely, but we are responsible substantially for the well-being and the safety of the flock. That is the role of the church. That's the role of the hierarchy of the church, the role of the priesthood. It's not only to say the liturgy, but to say it in such a manner and be part of the community of faith, that we nurture the faith. We don't drive you away, we nurture it. I believe that, and I think that is the extraordinarily important role of the parish priests, the diocesan guys mostly, but could be other orders. Whoever is the parochial minister, whoever is in the parish, because that's the meeting place of the people of God, from the very old to the very young, including the newly baptized. We have those of us who are ministering, even if it's part-time like I am ministering to a parish, you're ministering to the living church. And we're responsible for that church. We're responsible for its flourishing, its well-being, through our preaching, our personal contact, our administration, and our ministering of the sacraments. But we also, by instantiating the love of Christ, the church should not be a place of fear or obligation, but of intimacy. The intimacy of friends together in Christ, through Christ, for Christ. And you can see it anywhere. That's the lesson I really learned at St. Timothy's and St. Mark's, but especially the first years I got here in 71, 53 years ago, because I saw it at Timmy's, at St. Tim's. I saw a community of faith, and they were engaged with each other across the board, down the road, this way, that way, playing from ball fields to medical care, nursing homes. I finally was in the midst of the living church, and I saw how it sustained itself and how it enriched the faith. I had a snobby attitude. I was a religious order guy living in a monastery, an elitist. The best liturgy, the best this, the best that. I'm going to go on for a PhD and teach, and I'm going to be an elitist. When I saw what the real church was, it said it's on the ball field. It's in the church. It's in the baptismal font. It's the life of the faith. It's the families down the street. I think sometimes it was our best. Some of our dances and parties we used to have. Why St. Tim's was a party place for the parish, and it was wonderful. I remember that because it's the first time in my life I ever shared in parish life, and I really saw it. I saw how wonderful it was and how challenging, but how wonderful. I can remember, I told you this story before, sitting in the room upstairs in the rectory on the second floor studying. But I'd look out and I could see the kids playing stickball on the parking lot. That was 50-something years ago. They're grandfathers now. And some still live within the parish. And I saw the life of I saw the church. I saw the life of the faith lived on a parking lot. I saw it at these huge dances we'd have, these outdoor festas. Holy cow. And I saw it in the dying and in the baptisms. I was present to baptize. I was present to anoint and die when they were dying. The whole range. I baptized them, I married them, and buried them. And I've been doing it ever since. Aside from the fact I'm a college professor and all the rest, that's a part of me. St. Mark's, St. Tim's, it's an absolute part of me. It's part of my story. My story can't be told without my passionate vocation, its monasticism, and the accident of being here because I needed a roof over my head and falling in love with the parish and the people of the parish, now in its 5th generation. Isn't that amazing? Who would have believed it? Not me. And yet, I'll never forget when the pastor told me to go out in the ball field, go out and see the parishioners, make friends. And he was right. Joe Cronin was right. God rest him. And it was the truth. It's the life of the faith also. It's not just friendship. It's the life of the faith, the life of the community. I saw parishioners look out for each other, take care of their neighborhoods. They took care of the school. The commitment that they made to the school was impressive, both from fundraising and work. That's the life of a parish, see? Yeah. Anyhow, why does it fail? I don't know. Why, in the sense, have we lost so many generations now? Even though I saw it thriving here, we're still losing them too. I don't see too many young kids at Mass, young people. See, I don't know. It's a great mystery to me. But I know the word is still present and the seed is being planted. why it's not received. I don't know. I have a tendency to blame the church, meaning the preachers of the church, not the laity. I don't know. History might tell us someday. Maybe.